The internet is being overrun by an infectious disease that I simply cannot escape. LarpTuber, Technolop, 𝑬𝑽𝑽𝑬, Captain Larpicles, 𝑰𝑽𝑽𝑬, 𝒀𝑫, I show LARP, larptubing, larp-PewDiePie. The list is seemingly endless and equally eternally long. Once you click on one LARP channel, that's it. Every single refresh pull on the YouTube homepage will have you greeted by at least 10 more new ones, until eventually there is nothing left but LARP.
I have nothing left except...
Everywhere I look, every refresh pull of my YouTube feed seems to spawn more and more of these channels. But is it harmless fun, or are people just looking to make a quick buck off someone else's name? I'm Captain Cabinetz, your silly source of all things pop culture and media, and today we're digging into the LARP, so subscribe and strap in. You've probably heard the word LARP 1,000 times this year. Even your Granny Ethel might have used it by now. Originally, it meant live-action roleplay, people physically acting out characters in a fantasy setting. Online, though, the word has evolved. Now it's often used to describe someone performing an identity, whether that's a community, profession, personality, that sort of thing, which brings us to LarpTubers. Every day, tens if not hundreds at this point throw a dart at the dartboard of online influencers and use that to decide what they are going to LARP as that day to make some content. Why? Well, the quick and short reason is because it's a quick way of gaining an audience from a community that already exists. Granted, some people might be doing it because it's just a silly trend. I mean, imagine seeing an I Show LARP channel, clicking on the damned thing only to see the whitest ginger British lad you've ever seen in your life.
Please, Pete, I need this. My mom is kind of homeless.
It's clearly a piss take. I first caught wind of this because of the channel LarpTuber. This guy tries to replicate Markiplier's old style Let's Plays and honestly does a pretty decent job.
Hello Markiplier, hopefully you're watching. I don't know, but if you're watching, I have a question. Am I allowed to keep doing this? I mean, if you haven't heard of me yet, I'm LarpTuber. Yeah, sounds quite similar to Markiplier because that's basically my thing. It's like a reboot. It's like if 2012 Markiplier was brought back for 2016. What if I stop walking? What are you gonna do about it, huh? Huh?
Maybe a little forced cringe at times, but the guy is genuinely putting in some effort into the content. Markiplier himself even acknowledged the guy in one of the comments of his videos, so if the man himself doesn't have an issue, who is to complain? And here's the crazy part. This channel already hit 100,000 subscribers and is clocking in crazy views on his videos. Now, granted, even he admits that people don't really stick around to watch the whole thing.
Please watch the whole thing. See this graph? It says 4% of the 45,000 people who watched my last Amnesia video actually watch all the way through. And LarpTuber, 45,000 people is a lot. Not to YouTube it isn't. If out of the 45,000 people that watch it and only 4% stick to watch, it's not gonna be recommending my videos. So please, I know our attention spans or whatever the fuck, your dopamine thing, whatever they call it anymore, please watch the whole video. This video is entertaining. I don't know how. I don't know what else I can do to promise you guys this video is worth watching. So please watch the whole video.
If you look at his retention graphs, the drop-off is kind of brutal. A healthy video might average somewhere around 30 to 60% retention, depending on the content. It's how much of a video someone actually sticks around to watch. Meanwhile, some of these LARP channels are seeing numbers around the 5% mark. People click because they're curious. They want to see what's going on. Then they leave once they figured out the gimmick of the channel. And I think that's important because it gets to the heart of what this whole trend actually is. Now, let's talk about Technolop. This is a LarpTuber based off the late and great Technoblade who sadly passed away in 2022. Millions of people grieved at this loss, as he was, safe to say, a legendary icon in the Minecraft content community. Now, Technolop sounds a lot like Technoblade, which is why he thought starting this LARP channel would be a good idea.
Yo guys, it's me. I mean, you might be wondering, who is me? Who is this guy you're looking at? Well, I'm Technolarp, and you might be like, Technolarp, that's a stupid name. Who would ever choose that name? Who is this LARPer?
However, its existence has left a lot of the community divided. Some people see it as a tribute, a homage, a way to recreate some of the vibes they used to enjoy, and a way of keeping a beloved creator's memory alive. Others see it as capitalizing on an existing fan base and using someone else's legacy as a shortcut for monetization. But I think reality isn't black or white in this instance. Impersonators of famous individuals have always existed. How many Elvis Presleys or Michael Jackson impersonators have you seen? There are people who make entire careers just being celebrity lookalikes. Parodies of celebrities also exist. A lot of drag queens, for example, base their personas off exaggerated characteristics from certain celebrities. Impersonators are absolutely nothing new, and a type of performance that's actually usually respected. It's just one of the first times this has happened to an online celebrity. However, being an impersonator requires a few key things. First, you actually have to put effort into it. Professional impersonators spend years learning voices, mannerisms, dances, speech patterns, and performance styles. They study the person they're portraying. Second, you don't misrepresent the person you're impersonating. You don't speak on their behalf, you don't claim to be them, and you don't start inventing beliefs and opinions for them. Following these practices is just good faith. So far, Technolarp doesn't seem to be acting in a malicious manner. He's putting effort into his videos, and he's claimed his channel isn't monetized. However, his very first video was him taking a playful jab at someone else who took the name LarpNoblade, which he initially wanted, and that's why he ended up going along with Technolarp.
I would have chose LarpNoblade. That sounds like a better name, right? This guy already stole it from me right out of my dreams. I was literally thinking, I was in bed last night, I was like, what if somebody already had this idea? I should make a channel called LarpNoblade. Everyone says I sound like the guy, why not make a LARPing channel? And then I look it up, this guy has it. I was like, what if I make my outfit blue instead of red? What if I invert the profile picture, make the background red instead of blue, and make the... I didn't think of the sword, but he did everything else that I thought of.
LarpNoblade has since changed his username and is no longer a LARPer as a result. This video that Technolarp made also claimed all the money he'd make would go to charity.
I'm gonna get more subscribers and money and everything anyways. I'm gonna be rich. At least I would be if it wasn't all just going to charity.
But in just over a week and seeing the success of the LARP, he's now walked that back and said he'll give 50% of the money his channel earns instead. Personally, I don't really care whether someone makes money from this or not. Professional impersonators have always made money, like we discussed, whole careers out of it. Money isn't the issue. My issue is when people present a situation one way and then immediately walk it back once success arrives at their doorstep and they see the big subscriber number go up. Let's be honest, of course people are going to want to monetize something if it suddenly starts taking off. Most of us would. I'd rather people just be upfront about it from the start, or just not LARP claims they know they probably won't keep. Another thing people are going to have to accept is that there will probably be multiple LARPers of the same creator eventually. Nobody owns the concept. You cannot gatekeep LARPing. Nobody gets exclusive rights to pretend to be another YouTuber. Which brings me to one of the funniest parts of this entire trend. This I Show LARP guy commented, "There's literally like 5 versions of me. People see and copy, like leave the original to do their thing. This is an entirely insane self-entitled statement. Brother, you are impersonating someone else. You are not leaving the original to do their thing, and now you think other people are copying you, specifically when you have no videos and 2 streams on your channel. This guy doesn't even try, and he thinks he's the king of speed larpers. Because larp-tubing has become somewhat of a trend, people are keen to subscribe to channels as they feel part of a whole movement. Maybe they'll subscribe to the larper that makes the biggest impact or the biggest waves in the space. Most of these people who subscribe will likely stop watching or never watch again once the trend passes, leaving these new LarpTubers with dead subs and bad retention time in their videos, which will eventually really not play well into the algorithm over time. Professional impersonators spend a long time perfecting their craft to make it a career, whereas online it takes way less effort, making it full of opportunists looking to create a quick buck and dip once the trend passes. Only time will tell. The real test isn't whether these channels can gain subscribers, it's whether they can keep an audience once the initial curiosity dwindles. Professional impersonators build careers because they offer something beyond the initial performance. The question is whether LarpTubers will actually end up doing the same, because at the end of the day, all trends end. And when it does, all that's left is the content they have made, and will it be enough to carry them through?